Hello all, hi, it is Chase again. Good day, good afternoon, good evening. I hope all are well. I hope all are safe. So I just want to just off the top of my head, since there's so much going on in the world, I just want to list literally this is what's all going on that we all have to, deal with, address, or have to experience every day. So starting with the obvious, you have the war in Israel. You have mass shootings. You have these Halloween rituals because I guess not too long ago there was someone shot up at a Halloween party or Halloween festival. You have children missing. You have the American Negroes, or maybe even Negroes in general, getting deleted from history, literally and physically. You have missing organs, which is like $1 million and $1 billion industry. You have sex trafficking. You have birth control in the food. They said there was a study on fast food restaurants that there's birth controls in the food. So if you're wanting to eat fast food, or hey, I have cravings, I want a McFlurry, or I want a large fry, and you've been like, hey, I've been trying to conceive and I've been shooting blanks this whole time, it's probably because you eat fast food and there's birth control. They said they found after doing lab studies on fast food, and they didn't specify, so I don't know if this is all fast food or certain places, but there is birth control in the food. You have, since we're speaking of it, there's a proposition, it's called Proposition 65 or Proposition 64 in California, where it's basically saying like basically everything that you touch and everything that you look at it's riddled with a chemical that causes cancer and reproductive harm. So that's another thing too. If you're in California trying to conceive, like, hey, why can't I conceive? Because everything that you touch or consume attacks the reproductive system. And it actually makes sense for me too. In California, I'm thinking like, wow, is everyone shooting blanks out here? It's because you're either on a chemical that works against your reproductive system, or you're eating fast food that has been riddled with birth control. You have the artificial intelligence coming out. And they're also saying, there's studies too saying that there's the artificial intelligence have been basically controlled to be racist as well. And I didn't finish reading the video, just reading the headline was like, okay, I can believe it. But I guess someone did a headline like, okay, hey, could you create an artificial intelligence of a black officer helping a white child? And I guess the artificial intelligence, or the artificial intelligence as far as creating that scenario, it malfunctioned, or it did not recognize, well, a Negro helping a white child, that doesn't exist. So I'm thinking like certain things are programmed to do a certain things. Like for instance, when you have the police dogs, which are the AI police dogs, I'm sure those are going to be trained and programmed to attack a certain caliber of people. Because also too, if we step back just a little bit, when it comes to the mass shooters, notice how anytime there's a mass shooting, there's law enforcement from the feds on down. They never seem to know what to do or how to catch a mass shooter, at least not right away. They may catch them days or weeks later, and maybe they were already dead, or maybe they have to gun them down because, hey, it's been weeks. I've been looking for you for weeks, so now I have to shoot you because I couldn't find you. But here's the thing. There's police officers that hang out at buildings, literally just the other day, maybe yesterday, I seen maybe 7 to 10 police officers just standing on the sidewalk, just looking like tough guys, and they're just standing there. But only thing I can think of now, if someone breaks out, shooting, they probably would run back to the truck, So I'm thinking that's another issue too that we have going on right now that we don't seem to recognize or to understand, is that when you have your law enforcement, you call them for help, like, hey, I need help. Someone's trying to break into my, door, and it'll be nice to have someone to come and, scare them off the porch. But if I can't come to you for, help in a mass shooting, like, hey, there's someone riding around with the school shooter gun, scooting up the school, scooting up the bowling alley, shooting up the club, shooting up everything, and when you really need the police, or you really need the feds, or you really need help, They are not there to help you. But if you miss 1 year or 1 month of taxes, I believe the feds will pull up on you. If you actually, we'll even say, okay, we'll go beyond the taxes. Let's just say you've been doing schemes like, okay, maybe you've been robbing the bank, or maybe you've been robbing people, and you've made $10 million already in 1 year, and come to find out that was a scam. Now the feds they will pull up, maybe with 10 trucks, but they will pull up and get you for that $10 million scam that you just committed, which is probably federal. But those same people that will catch you when you're stealing, when you're making millions and billions of dollars from stealing and scheming, the feds for sure will come up and get you. But the school shooter, they seem to not have that much gas or drive when it comes to catching school shooters. And this is also an important thing too. There's reasons behind that, and it's the reasoning, and it's not because, I couldn't find you, or that was my day off. No, I'm thinking a lot of it has to do with because either this is one or two reasons, and this is not opinion. This is fact. And if I'm wrong, you prove it. But I would say the reason number one is the reason why they can't catch the shooter so fast is perhaps maybe the feds are the shooter. Maybe the guy who used to work with the feds, or who is working with the feds, maybe he's the school shooter for that time, especially around Halloween. Like I say, you have Halloween rituals. That one barely made the news. The one where a few people were shot at that Halloween event. I don't remember where it was. And then the second reason too, which is probably why they can't catch you, is because they're in on it, which is probably the same reason. But reason one, I can't find the shooter because I am the shooter, and reason two, we can't find the shooter because we are protecting the shooter. And those are the two reasons why they can never find a school shooter who's right there, who can only, mind you, I'm on foot, so I can only go a few miles, in a day on foot. It's not like I'm driving. And if I am driving, shouldn't your satellite cameras or shouldn't your street cameras catch me? But no, they're not going to catch you because we're in on it. Okay? And so to bust your bubble to those who can't, I don't understand why, or why is it that they can't find you? Now, mind you, they let you know who's all involved. Okay, this reached the president, or this reached the feds, but yet nobody knows what to do. But again, miss a tax payment or make a little bit of money from a Pansy scheme or from a PPP loan, and you will get a visit from the feds. And that's to say the least. Yeah, so just notice how they're always there for the petty crimes. I'm here to terrorize you, but I'm not going to be here when you really need me. And that will be your law enforcement. But anyway, we have a lot of stuff going on at once. As I mentioned to you, your food's being poisoned. You don't know who or what you're eating these days. You can't trust the material because everything is poisoned. And that's not your food. Like I said, your cell phone's poisoned. Your weed is poisoned. Your alcohol is poisoned. The furniture that you use, well, at least in California, like I say, with the Proposition 65, or is it let me look up the rule. I've been seeing Proposition 64 or Proposition 65, and I should probably get it right. Let's see. I'm going to get the actual proposition number, and therefore you'll know what I'm talking about as far as what's going on in LA. Well, not LA, California. The California proposition. Let's see. Yeah, Proposition 65. Proposition 65 warning. So I guess that's pretty much warning that everything that this product contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects and other reproductive harm. And this yellow sticker sign is literally on everything, on your cell phone, on your weed, on your furniture, on I would say anything that I don't know if it's hard material, whatever. I guess it doesn't have to be material, just whatever can be sprinkled with this chemical. If it can be in your weed, then it doesn't have to be furniture, but I guess all it has to do is be able to absorb that chemical. Proposition 65, known to cause reproductive harm and cancer, and it's on everything, or at least most of these labels in California. Yeah, but as far as like the world, like I say, there's so much going on. And then beyond the artificial intelligence, you have these You have the robots taking over. You have the oh, and that's another thing too. A lot of these banks, and this has been going on for a long time too, but a lot of these banks are shutting down. And it seems like every time I get by a Chase Bank, and I'm thinking like, oh wow, there's a Chase right there, or hey, there's a what is it? Wells Fargo right here. And then literally 2 seconds later, you go in there, be like, hey, I didn't know this bank was. Oh yeah, we're shutting down soon. So that means the banks are shutting down, and that's another thing. That's a red flag too. You have to do the science on behind. What does it mean when all these banks are shut down at once? You know, because I'm one to. I don't want to be to where I need the bank, but there are some banks that I actually like. I'm like, oh hey, I like that bank, or these banks are pretty cool, or it's convenient to have, or I can do online banking. But if they shut down, then you have to find it. It'll be almost mandatory that you have to find an alternative. So I'm thinking like, what is it in it for them to shut down real bad? You see what I'm saying? So we got that going on. You got people running the streets of New York and California, you know, with a certain energy, and it's again like, okay, yeah, you have a war going on, but it's like there's much more going on than this war that hasn't reached me yet. You know, we could say, well, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Well, it just doesn't have anything to do with you right now because it haven't reached you just yet. But it's just so much craziness going on. And then you have to stay out the way because it's like, oh, you have to consider these Halloween sacrifices too. You think, okay, well, let's go to this haunted house, or let's go to the bowling alley. And here it is. This will be the third or fourth bowling alley getting shot up around Halloween. Yeah, so I'm thinking if you want to find something to do, just wear your bulletproof vest and just do something at home, because it's like things are too random and things are too crazy these days. And then the crazy thing is there's so much craziness. I'm sure I left something out, but anyway, I guess in the meantime I'll keep quiet here, and if something else comes to my mind, I'll be back. But anyway, be well, be safe.